Okay, ma'am. So, good morning, everybody. I, Saurav Vicky, has again got the honor to welcome you all on the second and the final day of AmiHacks Hardware Hackathon 2021, sponsored by the Print Shine and Luxor. Yesterday, in the first round, many teams came to present some absolutely brilliant ideas in front of us. After listening and scrutinizing them on innovativeness, social impact, originality, and feasibility, the jury picked the top 10 teams for hardware demonstration today. So let me brief you with the today's guidelines. Today, the participants are required to present a working demo of their work in the form of a video. Now we received many queries regarding this, so let me just state it clearly for you that you need to show us the state and working of your hardware prototype. You can simply turn on your camera and show it while explaining it, or you can just film a short video about it and explain it. The video can be mailed to Kritika, whose email was provided in the WhatsApp group yesterday, if you're not able to present it. The selection criteria is based on the following parameters: commercial viability, technical competence, ease of use, and scope of enhancement. For this presentation, you will all be given 10 minutes, after which an alarm would go off, and then 2 stoppage minutes would be given. So if you exceed those 2 minutes too, then then your marks would be deducted for not adhering to the guidelines. So coming to the day's jury, today we have three judges with us. First, we have Dr. Jolly. Dr. Jolly is again with us today, and we would really like to thank you, ma'am, for taking out your time for this and being with us not just for 1 but 2 days consecutively. It's really an honor to have somebody with such rich background to have in the jury with us. We welcome you, ma'am. Next, as a second judge,
Thank you. Thank you, Saurabh.
thank
Glad
you.
to be here. Yeah.
Next, as a second judge, we are honored to have somebody from the industry with us today, Mr. Saurabh Chandra. He is a process-oriented IoT dev. He has developed AI JavaScript libraries from scratch. He's a self-taught web dev and game maker in C++ and JavaScript. In his own words, he says that he gets a genuine kick in algorithm design. He was he was working as a full stack web dev intern at Quantum Inc. and has been the vice president of the Indian Society for Technical Education. His huge project portfolio includes projects like Sanskrit, a Sanskrit Hindi based programming language, and Made Viva, a free online interactive Hindu marriage card service, and many more. We welcome you, sir, as the judge for today's event.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Third, we have Dr. Yugananda Malhotra with us. She is an experienced associate professor with a demonstrated history of working in the higher education industry. Skilled in MATLAB, LaTeX, lecturing, business analysis, and simulation. She has a strong education profession with a bachelor's degree focused in electronics and communication engineering from Madras University, master's degree and doctoral degree from the Thapar University in electronics and communication, and specializes in optical system design. We welcome you, ma'am, as a judge for today's event.
Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you so much. Am I audible, please, Saurabh?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
audible.
Because lot of disturbance probably maybe at my end.
No, you're
I would
audible.
like to
Yeah,
request
I'm
that
audible.
I would
Okay.
like to request that whosoever is not speaking, please keep your mic on mute so that we do not get any, unwanted interference. By the way, is my voice clear? Is
Yes,
anybody
yes.
facing any
Yes,
issue?
Saurabh.
Okay. So, though we had Dr. Jolly Parekh with us yesterday as well, but I'd still like to, mention about a profile today again. Her professional experience includes work worked as a visiting faculty with the Delhi College of Engineering and Indira Gandhi Institute of Technology in 2000 and 2003. Worked as an assistant professor since last 14 years at Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, New Delhi. Her education includes obtaining BTech degree from Nirma University, Gujarat, and MS degree from John Hopkins University, Maryland, USA, and her PhD from Mewa University, Rajasthan. Her research work includes wireless communication and cellular mobile communication systems. Her research publications are as follows: 8 international journals, 10 international conferences, 6 national conferences, and 3 book chapter publications. She is also the member of ISTE and Optical Society of America, OSA. We welcome you again.
Welcome, Dr. Jolly, Dr. Yunanda, and Mr. Saurav for the session today. We are really glad to have you here
Thank you,
with us.
Mr. Lal.
Yes, Saurav, you can please
Yes,
start.
So before starting, I would quickly again like to emphasize on the guidelines for the today's event. The selection criteria is based on the following parameters. There are 4 such parameters on which your ideas and your prototype would be judged. The first is commercial viability. The second is technical competence. The third is ease of use, and the fourth is scope of enhancement. You all will be given a 10-minute window where you can present your idea and you can show us your prototype. After which an alarm would go off, and then you will get 2 minutes of stoppage time. If you don't finish within those 2 minutes as well, then marks would be deducted for not adhering to the guidelines. You would be requested to switch on your cameras, and that's it. Those are the basic rules. If any team or anybody has any questions regarding the rules or guidelines or anything, you can just raise your hand right now, or you can ask directly. We'll be happy to address them. So I guess nobody has any doubt right now. Just give me a second. So before we start with the competition, I would also like to thank our sponsor. Today's event would not be possible without the help and support from our sponsors, the Print Shine and Luxure. They are experts in printing literally anything on everything, from printing designs on t-shirts to mugs to pillowcases. You should all definitely check out their services, and if you're looking for any such printing solutions, you should definitely contact them. Their Instagram handle is the_printshine. And the second sponsor which we have with us is Luxure. We're really for thankful to them for being a part of this journey with us. So now I would like to start with the competition. Okay, so the first team that would be presenting would be Team 1. I would like to call Team 1.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, team. So,
Good morning, Yajurva. So as I've already said that you'll get 10 minutes. I'll start the timer, and just make sure to either finish within those 10 minutes or within the 2 extra minutes that will be given. Else you'll be marked, negatively if you exceed. Just tell me when you're ready. I'll start the timer.
okay, so I'm ready, sir.
Okay. So all the best.
Thank you. Oh, is my screen visible? This video?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so good morning everyone. We are Team 1 and our project is crowd monitoring system. So first of all, I will be showing you the demo of our project and then I will explain the whole working with the help of a flow chart. So this is the video. So here you can see we have written a code in MATLAB for a project and we execute the code and you can see in front of you this MATLAB output, and here a face is present which is our object, and in this we have to do face detection. So the MATLAB code is detecting the face you can see through this rectangular window, and here we have connected an Arduino board to find out the maximum emit, and when it is reached it will show you an alert. So moving further you can see that the face is detected
Yeah,
and
sorry for interrupting. Just
yes,
hold on. Is this the first team with crowd monitoring system as a project name?
yes ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
All right. Okay, okay. Okay, fine. Because when you all start your presentation, just tell the topic and then start because
Ma'am, I
that,
did ma'am. I did.
All right. Okay, then probably I missed it. All right. Okay, thank you.
Okay ma'am. So the face is detected and you can see the LED is not blinking because we have kept the limit 1, and now if we move further, now you can see in front of you, as soon as the second person enters in the frame the LED starts blinking, which indicates that the maximum limit is reached. So in this project we kept the counter limit as 1, and as soon as the second person entered the frame the LED start blinking, indicating that the maximum limit is reached. So basically this is the demo of a project, and now what is happening in the background, I will be explaining it through a flow diagram. Now in our project, when we the first step is to execute the code. As soon as the code is executed, the live feed is taken from the camera. So for this we have used the integrated webcam of our laptop to take the live feed, and we use it outside. We can use CCTV cameras and other cameras to do this. Now after the live feed, the face detection is done. It is done using the algorithm called Byler-Jones face detection algorithm, which is a real-time face detection algorithm. So after face detection, if it is a success, then we move further, and if it's not a success, then we again start the code. After the successful face detection, face tracking and counting is done. The face tracking is done using the sliding window approach, which is a major step in Byler-Jones algorithm. So in this, the location of the faces is tracked and then the counting is done. The counting is done using a count variable which we have defined in a code, and the maximum emit variable is also there. So in a project we have kept the maximum limit as 1. As soon as the count, so when we move further, the count, if the count is greater than maximum limit, then a display message is given on the screen and the LED of the Arduino is switched on, and if the count is less than the maximum limit, then the display is shown on the screen and the Arduino is switched off. So you can see the output here, which I have also shown in my demo video. Also in the MATLAB output, there is a counter. It shows that one people is present in the frame and the LEDs are blinking. And the second person enters, and we can see two people in the frame, and it's giving an alert. So this is the working of our project. Thank you.
Okay, so the judges, if you have any questions, you can just ask them right now.
Okay, I would like to ask one question. Uh, if a person is standing behind the other person, then it is possible that his face might not be detected, right? So in that case, how do you try? How will you try to accommodate this issue? Like, how do you try to tackle this issue? Because many times in a crowd, you usually see that a person are standing one behind the other, and they are like not visible clearly, right? So your device will not be able to detect those. So you'll miss those counts, right?
Ma'am, it is one of the drawbacks of this. Mostly we will be using this using a CCTV camera, which is placed at like a higher point. So having a person stand behind another person, it can be managed because like this algorithm, with this algorithm, it detects like the upper part of the body, the face through the shoulders. So if just only a small part of the face is visible, it will work, but yes, it is one of the drawbacks it can have.
Because you are saying that the camera is placed at a higher level, then I guess they will. The camera is going to check only the head, right?
No,
It won't be
not
at the level
exactly.
of face detecting.
Not exactly the head. Like you know where the CCTV cameras are placed. If they have like a higher vantage point, they can see the faces as well.
Okay, so that is one of the drawback. That's it. That's okay.
No,
Yes,
ma'am,
ma'am.
actually, Viola Jones
And
algorithm uses HAR
Hmm.
features. So even if your forehead is visible, it can detect your face.
Okay,
It counts it.
okay.
It
Guys,
creates the object that
pardon? I didn't get
And
it.
he's saying basically our face is an object. So the eyebrows, the nose part, the cheeks part, all of it, it's contained in the heart feature. So if that is also visible in the camera, then it will detect the face, because we have defined the object using these features. That if other than these features there is an object like a tree or a car, then it won't be detected. So this is how
Uh,
it works, ma'am.
are you comparing, like you are taking a pic, right? And are you comparing the features? Like, are they, if there are variations in the feature, only then the face will be detected and the person will be counted, or how does
No,
that
Ma'am,
algorithm?
no, ma'am. Actually, we are using Viola Jones algorithm, which has HAR features, detect HAR feature. Like all human faces share some irregularities. For example, our nose bridge is brighter than our eye, the region under the eye. Our cheeks are brighter than. So these irregularities are similar in every human face. So Viola Jones algorithm basically detects these features, and then after there's a another stage that is called ADA boost, where it eliminates the unwanted uh, unintended features like wall behind me or tray behind me, anything. So it eliminates those features also.
That case would be there at all, because you are talking about crowd, right? So my only concern was like, if the camera is detecting my face, your device is detecting my face, and adjacent to me my sister is standing, right? So will it be able to detect my face only once, or if possible that if I come in front of that device again, then I'll be counted as the next person again?
No, ma'am. What happens is like if one person enters the frame, it
Right.
detects that person and it is the rectangular window you saw in the video, the green window. It's like a tracking window. So once you enter the frame, it will keep on tracking you wherever you go on the frame, and even as you go out of the frame, the tracking will stop, and the counter of the number of people will also decrease. And when you come back again, it will start tracking you again and increase the counter. So it is basically tracking in a different frame. So like
So one
as
person,
sorry.
so for one person is going to count two times, is it? Because you say when the person is
Uh,
being tracked, a crowd may you never know the person might go in any direction.
yes, ma'am.
The camera might be placed at one situation right in front, so it might track the face. But the
Um,
same person
and
can
the total number
go
of
back.
persons present in the live feed will be counted.
yes. Ma'am, it's a real time. It counts in the real time. So the total number of people that are present in the frame, it will count it will count those and show the count of those people. As in, person goes out of the frame, the count will be decreased as the person goes out. Not recognizing that person, we're just detecting the faces.
Okay. So you are focusing on a particular area only at a time, a particular frame.
Yeah.
How many number of people are captured? Accordingly, you will be counting them, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And because we kept in mind the social distancing aspect of this pandemic also, so we need these kind of things to keep a check in the count of people present in a particular area at a particular time, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. So you'll require a huge database, or you're just working on real time, so you are not recording anything?
No, ma'am, we won't need any database for that.
Oh. Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Right, fine.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome. We are done with this order. We are done with this group.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
One more
So
question I would like to ask. So is this considering all
Yes,
the
sir.
agents which appear in your camera, is it considering them the same? I mean, are they identical or can they be distinguished in the sense that consider someone has been detected by our other devices, our instruments, that he has some infection or so, but he instead of understanding and settling down, he ran away and he mixed in the crowd. So can you distinguish and still identify once we post an image or something that this is the person? Is he in the crowd? Then alert that crowd and tell someone. So is it able to distinguish specifically if we give your image?
The code will need some modifications for this. As I said before, this is just facial detection. It is not recognizing those faces, but we can add the facial recognition aspect to the code as well. For that, we will need a database which have to be updated. As you said, if you upload that person's information in your database, the infected person, we can add that to our database and keep on recognizing that as well. In present, our code can do that. It's just detecting the faces. It cannot recognize it, but we can add that aspect as well.
Okay.
Also, basically, if like we use it in school attendance system, then we need age detection as well as recognition to know the particular name of the student. And if we are using this system in a hall, so we only need age detection because we don't want to know the name of the person. We only know how many people are present there. So this is the difference, and we use this project further.
Okay. As soon as the count goes beyond the set threshold, then your system says that it's crowded, right?
Yes. It says it's
Yes, sir.
crowded, and then you can
We
decrease the
have
number.
kept here one. He can increase it to 200. It's just the limit we have to change. So yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did it at home, so the limit was set low because there were not many people at the house to check it. But it can increase to anything you want.
Right. So this is one aspect. Are there any other aspects also to this project?
We can use mask recognition, that if a person is wearing mask or not,
Right.
as soon as the face is detected. So there is this modification also to this, because we kept in mind the COVID-19 pandemic, so we made it according to that. So we can improve it further for face recognition, whether the person is wearing a mask or not. So all this can be done.
Also the distance between the faces for distancing measurement, right?
Yes, sir. It can be done. Can be done.
Nice.
Because the
Good.
code has to be changed a little bit in the face detection, sir.
Nice. A whole lot of scope of improvement is possible with this one as well. Good.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so well done, team 1. Now we'll move to the next, which is going to be team 15. So I request team 15 members to please switch on the cameras and be ready with their video.
Good morning, teachers.
Good morning, Saurabh.
This is Saurabh Jaiswal from Team 15, and my topic is Drone Photogrammetric Image Processing System with Advanced Frequency Generator for resolving man-animal conflict rising in agriculture sector in India. So, can I start?
Yes, if you're ready, you can start. I'll start the count
Okay.
down. Okay.
I'll share the screen once.
Yes. Okay. All the best, Saurabh.
My screen shared or not?
Yes, it was shared.
Okay.
Seeing the MS
So as
Paint.
we have discussed in my PPT, my topic is drone photogrammetric image processing system with advanced frequency generator for resolving man-animal conflict. So in which we have made a drone whose footage is shown here. Just a second. This is the drone we are using for the detection. Its payload is around 2 kgs, and this is the system which we are
Sorry,
using.
I'm not
Harvest.
able to see anything on your desktop. I'm only able to see the desktop only.
Okay.
Yeah, you should probably just unshare and share your full desktop so we'll be able to see everything. If you'll switch tabs, then sometimes it is not visible if you only share one particular window. Okay, so I see that Team 15 is probably having some connection issues right now. So we'll go with them. Okay, we've got the message. They're having some technical glitch. So we'll move on to the next team. But before that, I would request each and every participant and the core members to just switch on their cameras for once, because we would like to take a picture of the whole event with everybody's cameras on. So please, everybody, just switch on your cameras.
Every participant please switch on the camera for a minute and then you can continue with the rest of the team. I just want to take a quick picture. Every team, please. All the teams that are present here. The core committee as well. Team 2, 3, 5. Whichever teams are there, please switch on your cameras for a minute.
Team 1, Team 15, 3, 2, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 6. We request everybody to please switch on your cameras for once.
Has everybody done that? Also, we would like everyone to please stay in the end. Do not leave the meeting for again a commemorative photograph in case other people also join you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, it's fine.
Okay, then you can start, I suppose.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. I guess Saurav is back here. So I guess we can continue with team 15.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Please
okay.
I wanted to take some time as I have joined with my laptop. I'm unable to join through my laptop.
So maybe we can
continue.
go
Do
with
not
the
stop.
next team first.
Okay, yes, thanks.
Okay, so we'll call upon team 3 now.
Please do not stop the flow. Please continue. Whenever Saurav is ready, you can please join back. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to call team 3 now, please.
Saurav,
Yes.
can I start? Actually, I have prepared for team 15.
Team 15. Okay, so I see that team 3 has also not started and they've not probably not switched on the cameras. So okay, you can start, Saurabh. Team 15. Okay.
Okay, thanks. Sorry for the glitches, judges.
It's okay.
So can I
I'm
start?
starting. Yeah, I'll start your timer again. So judges, this is team 15. All the best, Saurabh.
Thanks. So is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, it is. We can see the MS Teams right now.
Okay. So can you see my PPT here?
I'm not able to see it right now.
Okay.
Yes, the PPT is visible right now.
PPT is visible?
It was, then it got unshared again. Okay, yeah, it is visible right now. But it is
Okay.
like not in the slideshow format. Okay, it is just in the
Okay,
only the PPT is.
that's not a problem. That's my intention.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So as my topic is drone photogrammetric image processing system with advanced frequency generator for resolving man-animal conflict in agriculture sector in India. My aim was to build a drone setup in which we can actually detect animals and produce a sound frequency according to that by identifying which animal it is. Now, due to lack of the database of the animals, we have actually picked some video from the internet and try to process the image and try to process that video as per the convenience. So this is the drone, sorry, this is the drone that we have made for using processing for in which our processing system will be assembled. Okay, and as for the coding, this is our coding, which we are going to install in our Raspberry Pi, which is further equipped with the frequency generator and camera and etc. So as we will get the output will be okay. This will be the output. Wait a second. Yes, this would be the final output that we got from the animal footage. the precision would not be that much accurate, but it detects many obstacles, and according to which it will generate frequency. Yes, as we can see that it can easily recognize several animals. So that's all for my hardware demonstration.
Saurabh,
Thank
can
you,
you
sir.
just explain as to what exactly was it, because I didn't get it. The frequency generate karke, what are you trying to do basically?
By generating frequency, we are trying to irritate animals
Okay.
so that they won't come near agricultural crop.
All right. Any more details that you could shed?
Uh, as like this round was for the hardware demonstration. I have shown my drone, and I have shown my software input, like what we give, that what input will come from the camera of the drone and what output will it give. Now the next thing would be frequency generation. As for now, we are unable to get that setup to generate frequency, so we won't be able to demonstrate that part.
Drones are being used to capture the animals and to generate frequency as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
These are that is the concept one, and as for the concept two, we can actually assemble cameras and frequency generator on the poles, high level poles, so that it can last long, and but it has a static position. But for the drone, it has the dynamic position. It can move around any place.
Okay.
Any more questions from the judges?
Are the animals distinctly judged as to which
Yes, yes.
frequency is required for them?
Yes, yes. The animals are distinctively judged whose data whose data we have acquired from the internet, according to which we will be generating frequency, but the data by which database which is required to detect animals is not with us, due to as we have not gathered some information on that. But we have the information of what kind of frequency will irritate them, as we have shown in previous day on 2 PPT.
How exactly is it selected, like which animal, which frequency will irritate?
How exactly it's selected? I'm not getting your point. Can you repeat, please?
The frequency must be specific, right?
Yes, yes.
So how do you determine that for this animal, this specific frequency?
Actually, we have acquired that data from the internet. Wait a minute, I will share my screen. These are the data we have, I had shown on previous day. The birds frequency range is 10 hertz to 35 hertz. For sheep, it's 100 hertz to 3000 kilohertz. For monkey, it's 10 kilohertz to 65 kilohertz, and for boa pig, it's 20 kilohertz to 65 kilohertz, and for deer, it's 10 hertz to 35 kilohertz. So according to that, we will be generating our frequency using our power amplifier and frequency divider, and also Twitter.
So in its audible spectrum, you are generating sounds, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So what makes you consider that it will be treated as noise instead of music by them, or something which is enjoyable, or something?
Actually, it's just some research from the internet that we have acquired by others' paper. So once we don't experiment it on some field work, we can't judge how much efficiency it gives.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah. So I was saying that what makes you think that it would be considered as a disturbance instead of just a normal thing or as enjoyable?
This is the proper fieldwork that we are yet to demonstrate on agriculture field due to the lack of the fieldwork. We haven't acquired that much of information and the database also, so that we can distinguish animals.
Okay, that will be calibrated, you will say.
Yes, that will be calibrated, and that's the only part left for our completion of project.
Okay.
Once this project is based on the for especially Uttarakhand agriculture. Like when we go to Uttarakhand, we can set up our camera system so that we can acquire database and also uh, try to produce frequency so that how we can get how much efficient our model is.
Okay.
As we have discussed, it cost is very low, around 8,100 rupees.
Yes,
So
Saurabh,
it
I
is
would like to add, see, even for human beings, beyond a certain level, it becomes a noise, right? So I
Yes, ma'am.
feel, so I feel unless and until it is, you have tried it practically for specific animals as to beyond what level of the sound, it becomes a noise for them. So, before actually practically doing it, it will be hard to judge that what is the sound level and what is the audio level of the frequency for, specific animals.
Yes, ma'am. But ma'am, going to the paperwork we have acquired from Google,
Mm-hmm.
so we have concluded that this frequency set will be actually usable for our project, ma'am. But as we are not able to perform any practical work with our project, so we can't actually tell how much efficient that data is to us.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so are there any more questions?
Are there more aspects associated to this project?
Come again. Sir?
Okay, I'm asking, are there more aspects also associated with this project as to detecting an animal and then producing some noise for it to distract him or make him run away? Are there other dimensions also to this project? Any other
So
feature?
yes, sir. There are two methods I have already discussed. First, to use it on the drone, as to assemble our system on a drone, as I have demonstrated our drone, which can easily uh, go take 2 kgs of payload. And second method was to fit our project on various poles and use their location. That would be a static positioning that can be that is also useful for our small farmers. But for the drone, that would be dynamic positioning and can also be used for testing that how this like for testing the field, like is this field feasible to crop or not, like certain
Given
kind.
given a specific contour of field, given a specific boundary of field, what exactly are you planning to make the contour of the flight of drone? Like, if there's a
Yes, yes,
circular field, what
yes.
should be the trajectory of the drone? Are you thinking of again a circle with a bigger radius?
No, sir. Actually, this drone is already assembled with a system which can easily trace the path which we assign it. the drone is already equipped with a flight controller, which we can guide it to trace the path or trace the agriculture area. And it can also map our agriculture by taking several photos of it and combining to make a map of it, like our satellite does.
Is
It's
the
a quite advanced drone for us.
is the path of the drone, is it working by supervision or is it unsupervised? It given a particular field, it will automatically understand that I have to protect it.
That's up to us. Actually, the drone can be given a set of data to trace the path by using Mission Planner or the simulator app. The app used for coding our flight controller, or we can use our controller transmitter receiver to give the direction manually to our drone. There are two
Saurabh,
ways for us to go automatically or yes, ma'am.
Saurabh, can I add something in between? You
Yes,
said
ma'am.
your drone technology is going to remove the animal-man conflict. What if your technology is taken over by poachers? They can use it, सारे animals में इकट्ठा कर लिया और बस खत्म कहानी उनकी. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
अब if you just think of the negative aspect of it, अब किसी
Yes,
पोचर के हाथ में लगती है टेक्नोलॉजी, उसने साउंड क्रिएट करके सारे एनिमल्स को अपने एरिया उस एरिया में इकट्ठे कर लेने और उनका हो गया काम आसान. So when you devise a idea, think on the pros and cons as well.
yes, ma'am.
Right now what I feel is जो आपने भी टॉपिक डिसाइड किया है कि ड्रोन है और पिक्चर्स ले रहे हैं और आवाज क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, वो सब चीजें हैं. बट देन फॉर एनी एप्लीकेशन ओरिएंटेड प्रोजेक्ट यू शुड ऑलवेज कंसिडर बोथ साइड्स एज वेल, राइट? दिस इज जस्ट माय सजेशन.
Yes, ma'am.
और
Ma'am,
हाँ,
there is also a part which I have learned from my practical experience that the drones are highly, like drone itself is highly irritatable for animals, and
of
drones
course
are not
any sound, yeah.
and drones are not allowed to use in wildlife sanctuaries. It is actually
Yeah, because
already,
animals are nature friendly and they wouldn't like any intervention.
yes,
Yeah,
it is
okay.
already it is in guideline by government to not fly any drone in any wildlife sanctuary.
But
So
so is poaching, right?
yeah,
But still,
yeah,
Uh,
it is, but still, many things go under the table.
yes. But as we are giving drone, then we can also provide a drone flying license to them. Like the drone will can only be flown by a drone flying license people,
Okay.
drone pilot actually.
All right. I think it's okay. You can go on to the next theme, or Saurabh, sir, if you want to ask something.
No, thank you, ma'am. That's enough from my side.
Okay.
Okay, very well, team 15. So let's move to the next team now. That is going to be team number 3. So team 3, please switch on your cameras and start with your video.
I will be uploading the video for them. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, Kritika. We've also received message that they won't be able to turn on their cameras. So okay, that's fine. And Kritika will be sharing their video. So as soon as Kritika starts with the video, I'll turn the timer for the presentation on. Okay. Team 3, you can just speak up and say that okay, you're ready.
Is the screen visible, Saurabh?
Yes, it is visible, Kritika.
Good morning to all the jury members and the participants.
Kritika, can you pause it?
Yeah.
Where are the members from team 3? I'm not hearing anything from their side.
Good afternoon, sir. We are connected and we want to the video to be displayed first.
Okay.
Our
Okay, I got it. No problems. All the best. I'll be starting with the timer and you can go ahead.
Shall I play the video, Saurabh?
Yes, you can start now.
Participants, our project is about smart water dam system, which basically includes the detection of level of water in the dam and automatically holds the control of opening or closing of dam gate. Our project includes two transformers. First, that is power supply unit of 12 volt, and next to it we have 7805 transformer. We have a display unit to measure the reading of water level. We have an embedded Arduino under the display unit which will send the pulses to the stepper motor through which the opening or closing of dam gate will be scheduled. Here is the working of the project.
So in this video, we have taken a cup which we have assumed to be the dam, and we have connected the stepper motor to the display unit to control the opening and closing of the dam gate. And once the reading is received by the motor, so it will control the opening. And the dam is connected to the wires. The wires will be giving the reading to the stepper motor. So your questions are welcomed.
Hi, I would like to ask one question.
Sure, ma'am.
So, the application of this, you want to make it okay, automatic. So we already have these things, right, at present. So how can you say that there is something different in your proposal as compared to the already existing ones?
Ma'am, actually in this we have taken a model which will work on less energy consumption, and in future we can also operate the dam gate with the help of solar system communicating directly to the sensor.
Okay. So how did you compare that it is consuming less energy?
Ma'am, we have two transformers which will be applying the voltage, and we have 7805 transformer which is a voltage regulator which will tell how much volt is consumed.
So do you think that at present this technique has not been implemented already in real world?
I feel, Jolly ma'am, this is being installed in every other household, especially those who, use this water pumping system. जैसे वो motor tank, upper overhead tank gets filled up, the thing starts
Alarm.
being. So if if the student says that it's being, consuming less power, just let us know what is the power being consumed in traditional systems and what is the power level being used by your design system, so that we get a better knack as to how it is better than the already established systems.
Sorry,
Yes.
ma'am, as we lost the network, so can you please repeat your question?
Yeah, I am. I was telling that such a system is being installed in every other household, especially in Chitkarana, Patiala mein I stay, and मेरे घर पे खुद ये लगा हुआ है. Overhead tank, moment the water gets filled up, approximately to the up, level, the alarm starts beeping. So if you say that your system uses less power, what I need to know is what is the power consumed by traditional systems and what is the power level being consumed by your system, so that we know if this is a point of improvement, so that justifies the project, right?
Because whenever you propose some new idea, you should have at least done some literature review as to whether these things already exist as of now, right? Only then your idea will be acceptable and it will be thought about, right? Okay, good thing that you have implemented the project and shown us the working and all. But did you consider this, that how will you justify that yours has better feature as compared to the existing ones? Did you even give a thought about it? The power that you are talking about, have you tried to calculate whether it is power efficient, your system is power efficient as compared to the existing ones or not?
Voltage regulators is a must component being used. It probably will be there in the present system as well. So see, it's a nice effort, but then I think you should know how better is your system.
That's okay. Fine. Nice. Right. It was a
One
good thing that you worked.
question
Yeah.
I have.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, my question is that the logic of its working is it only that once the water has crossed certain level in its vertical height, then the dam would in proportion open? Is it so?
Sorry, sir, didn't get your question.
My question is the logic. What is the logic which is used in the opening and closing of dam? Is it just the proportionality of what water it is storing before the valve?
Yes, sir, got it. Sir, actually, we have used that how much level is stored in the dam. For example, in this, we have assumed 3 levels, that is 50 ml, 70 ml, and 90 ml respectively. So when the level is 50 ml, so the 1/4 gate will open, and if it is 70, then half gate, and proportionally, the full gate will open at 90 ml.
So my query is this, that your dam has knows that the potential of water behind it is huge, therefore it is letting that source pass through it, but should it not consider that there has to be sufficient sink after it, which must be able to take it, otherwise your dam would just flood over all the place, isn't it? I mean, just one variable you are considering. What about the other variables which should be included, which should be considered in letting the water pass?
Okay.
Okay. I guess it's done. We are not able to answer. Saurav?
It's okay. Good efforts, though.
Yeah, good efforts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well presented. The model working was really good. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Which year students are you all? I mean, who are presenting?
Ma'am, second year.
Okay, that's great. Very good for second year.
Level is
Yeah,
really good.
actually, very good for second year.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
So just a suggestion that for in future, you just try to find out all these basic things also, right? You need to know about this power supply, what is, and other aspects also have to be considered. Good work at your level. You have really done a very good work. it's very difficult to even implement all this in a model form. Working model plays a very important role in engineering solutions. Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll keep in mind. Thanks.
Yes, thank you, team 3. So now we'll move to the next team, which is going to be team number 2. So can we have the participants from team 2 to switch on their cameras?
Good morning, sir.
Hello. Are you ready with your video?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so you can share your screen and then I'll start your timer.
I'm not getting an option to present a screen here actually.
Are you not able to access the switch which is next to the mute button?
Yeah, it's actually freeze. It's done. It's done.
Okay.
Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible.
So, good morning, everyone. As our project is related to eco-paddy because the problems right now in agriculture and faced by the farmers are changing in climate, pollution, and water shortages. When in Green Revolution, paddy actually launched. India launched the paddy. So there are two main problems which are actually faced by the farmers as well as the Indians. Number one, groundwater shortages. Number two, air pollution because rice has a rice straw which has to be burned on the fields. So the students of Punjabi University Patiala actually thought about this management process which is eco paddy, with which we can first with the hardware technology we can actually like test the fertility of the soil and test the water level consumption of a crop. A crop will be given as much as water as needed and it will stop automatically till where the crop has to be stored in the water. So first problem was water consumption, and the second problem is faced in these days in our agriculture is that our soil is actually getting infertile because of using much more of fertilizers and pesticides. So we are trying to build a model which can not only test the water level but also it will have a NPK tester and a soil fertility tester with which a farmer can know that how much fertilizers and pesticides has to be given to the crop. Due to some reasons, we are not actually getting a proper tool of NPK tester. We'd be needing proper NPK tester. So we try to make like for now we try to make a proper water level indicator irrigation system with which we have used the sensors to predict how much water is needed to the crops and it will stop automatically. The second problem was air pollution. As the paddy has a rice straw, because farmers do not have any alternative, so they just have to burn it. So why don't we just give them the alternative? So we try to actually make a pulp out of rice straw. We tested the rice straw. We tested the chemical constituents of that, and in last few days we tried to make a stubble rice straw paper and rice straw plate with our very basic home technologies.
Can you please repeat what you said? Probably because of network thing, I missed it.
Sure, ma'am. Actually, so these are the products we tried to make from rice straw. We basically made the pulp of rice straw with the biochemicals, not using any harsh chemicals, because we, as plastic, there are many tablewares that are of plastic, and mostly we are actually consumed in a plastic. So we actually made this prototype, these two prototypes, from where the paper is made from rice straw, and this plate is a ugly prototype which is made from like totally from rice straw and some constituents of wooden pulp. So we made a pulp of it, and this plate can be actually decomposed. We made it like 5 weeks ago. We tried to make it 5 weeks ago, and this plate will most probably be decomposed in 25 to 30 days.
Okay. What is the cost incurred in this second aspect that you mentioned?
Sorry, ma'am.
What
Can
is
you
the
repeat?
what is a, I mean, I was just thinking about the practical feasibility of it. So, I mean, कितने large tons में वो wheat का जो जलाया जाता है every year. So, what is the practical feasibility of this happening, and what is the cost implication? Like, how does it go
So
about?
basically, ma'am, 1 acre of land, 1 acre of land usually have like 1 to 2 ton of rice straw. So this one plate is made from 4 to 5 kg of rice straw. So basically, if we make this rice straw plates in large amount, in mass amount, so 8 to 9 acre of land rice straw will actually be easily consumed with these plates. And as we have like more of land, more of rice land, more of paddy land, so we can make these products. Not only this product, but we also made the paper. I can show you the paper. So actually this is a ugly prototype because we tried to make it on a brick. This is the rice straw pulp, and we tried to make it on a brick.
Okay.
So this is the paper made totally from rice straw without any chemicals, so that it can be decomposed and the trees can be, deforestation can be less in number in our India, and it is a huge problem. So I think with these things, the plastic problem can also be reduced. Also the air pollution, because farmers do not have any alternative. And this is the plate which is actually made from like almost no chemicals. We use very basic techniques and chemicals. I can say I cannot totally mention it, but yeah, this can be totally decomposed in a soil, and less of plastic pollution, of course.
All right, good.
So in this plate, you mean the liquid will not seep through these plates? Did you try it out?
Yes, ma'am, we tried. This plate can actually store the water for like 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. So within those 10 to 15 minutes, we have to finish up our meal, right? then it
Yeah,
won't
no, of course, nobody will actually, pour water in a plate. But yeah, we tried it, but we do not have any, particular coating or anything like that till now. But
Right.
we'll be trying, to make it more tensile.
Okay.
But
And the
yeah,
paper,
it's like very hard. We cannot break it easily.
okay. And the paper that you are doing, where will you use that paper? Because the one that you have shown, the raw type, where would be it used? Where can I use it?
Yes, ma'am. So basically, this is not the proper paper. We try to make it a pulp of rice straw. As we like these days, we are getting more involved in like journal papers. People are curious to write the journals. So we actually thought of making the journal out of these papers, like starting from a journal, and then make when we have a proper technology, because we do not have a proper technology till now to make a proper in our university or anywhere, because it will have much more of a cost. So we tried, like, we'll make more of these papers, and we'll try to make a spiral journal of it.
So you'll have to add some chemicals more, right? I guess so.
Yes, ma'am. We will be okay. So basically, for making the pulp of rice straw, as we know, when we are in kitchen, so when we just make the vegetables, why do we add vinegar in it? उसको गालने के लिए हम विनेगर ऐड करते हैं सब्जी को लाइक एक तरह से गालने के लिए सो वेरी बेसिक जो कि ज्यादा मतलब दे आर नॉट हार्श एंड दे आर नॉट मोर पावरफुल those chemicals, those biochemicals we actually try to make at home, not in lab actually. So we try to make it at home and we tried those biochemicals to make this.
Okay.
Okay.
And going back to the first thing, your water level indicator, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So on a field, field will be a huge piece of land, right? How do you think that the water level indicator can be will be measuring the level of the water? Because actually speaking, what usually I have heard about is like they check the humidity of the soil, and then based on that they control how much amount of water should be applied.
Right.
Supplied to the crop.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So I didn't get your concept of measuring the water level of a field.
Yes.
That measuring
Can I add, ma'am?
Huh. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So, ma'am, if we right now we are talking about a paddy crop. Rice needs flood irrigation. So what farmers do, they have like 100% subsidies for the tube well water, right? So they just, give the water to the rice and there's a flood irrigation. We always see, while months that there is the crops are already flooded. So basically, if yes, rice need a flood irrigation. But if we actually, get deep into the constitution of rice and everything, and there are many articles on this also, that rice don't particularly need flood irrigation. Yes, it need more of water than any other crop, but it does not particularly need proper flood irrigation. So we are trying to make a tool that can be, implemented on the ground, like till where the rice needs the water, right, has to consume a water, उधर तक पानी जाए, उसके बाद अपने आप स्टॉप हो जाए, मतलब फ्लड इरिगेशन ज्यादा करनी पड़े. Number 2, in that tool we are trying to build the NPK sensor with NPK sensor, that if the farmer is actually adding pesticides and fertilizers, because there are more of diseases because of fertilizers these days. So why not a farmer can test the NPK constitution of a soil, and then he can add a pesticide fertilizers according to that. So we are building this tool like mixing two problems and solutions into one.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice efforts. Good.
Thank you, ma'am.
I have a question.
Yes,
so in your first project, I have a few queries. So what exactly is being, what all factors are being measured for your water level sensing?
Pardon, sir?
What all factors are being measured in your first project?
Factors. The first factor is of course water level, like how much water has to be given. The second factor is the testing of the soil, the constituents of the soil, and the third is soil fertility. Because if we get to know the NPK factor, we'll like side by side have a proper soil fertility, that is this soil a fertile soil or not, and is this soil need like a proper 3 kg of PKM fertilizer is used basically for rice crop. Is this soil need proper 5 kg of it, or it has to be less or more of it?
Okay. In specific crops or plants, you require different levels of water, right? So they have different adequate requirements. So is it can it be tweaked as per different plants, or is it fixed, or how do we change that?
Okay, so sir, for all other crops, basically these days we are having, like in many crops, we are having a proper drip irrigation system also. Drip irrigation is like people are using drip irrigation for now, and those crops does not need more of a water than any rice crop. So like paddy is becoming a problem basically of Punjab and Haryana. So we are trying to implement this management system for paddy for now. But if we launch this, we'll try more for other crops also.
Okay, and one more thing, do you consider the seasons as to monsoon season will automatically yield more water and you have to add less of it, right? And other
Yes,
seasons will
sir.
yield different, and the crop requirement also is different as per different seasons.
Yes, sir. Of course. Like with this NPK sensor, as when the monsoon is when it is humidity, when it's much more of a humidity, that's why we are actually inserting NPK sensor with it, so that we can have the proper constituent as well as the moisture for the soil, so that farmer can know how much has to be added or not. That's why we are trying to mix these three things together.
Mm-hmm. Nice, wonderful.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I like your idea.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, very practical.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well done, team 2. So now we'll move to the next team, which is going to be team number 10.
Yeah, hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay.